You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing pretty darn well and better now that Heidi is back from her quest.
Thank you.
How you doing, Heidi?
Good. I'm well. How are you?
It's good. She has been on timeout for 2 whole weeks.
That's tough to do. In fact, I've never met a 3-year-old that got nailed for 3 weeks or 2 weeks in timeout.
I know. So
nice job, Heidi. Way to effort.
Everybody's wondering what she did
just
wrong.
Representing.
And I got to say, it was, it was a simple mistake. How was she to know that flammable and inflammable meant the same thing?
That's exactly right. Things were said, mistakes were made, guns were fired.
It's all good now. She's back. She's paid the price.
Hey, let's celebrate. There's a huge day in American history today, by the way.
Oh, it is.
Where were you July 20th, 1969? Not born yet, I'm
not
guessing.
even
I was not born.
Apollo 11, bang, landed on the moon. Bang, 7 hours after landing. Bang, there went Neil A. Armstrong bouncing around up there, planting flags.
That happened like the same weekend as Woodstock?
I know. Yeah,
I didn't
pretty
realize
much.
that.
Well, same month. Yeah. Yep. And it was just kind of neat because I would end up, my brother went there first. The first year they were open at Neil A. Armstrong High School.
Okay.
Just west of Minneapolis. Then in 1971, I actually met Neil Armstrong. When they christened the school, he came up, gave a speech, and I ran into him in the commissary area afterwards, and I suppose I was 14 maybe or 15 at the time. It's like, whoa, that's an astronaut. I said, hey, how you doing? And he's, I'm sure he remembers that.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, so, hey, Neil, dude.
Remember me?
Yeah,
in the hall?
We're
I'm
bros.
sure he remembers.
How does one christen a school? You don't smack
are
a bottle of
bros.
champagne on it, do you? Like they do with a
they
boat?
may have. I really don't know. It was one of those deals where my mom dragged me along, and my brother was actually a student there the first year they were open. So
That's cool.
yeah, the Armstrong Falcons, the Fighting Falcons, school colors. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue, baby.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yep.
That is fantastic.
Yep. So there you go.
Well, fabulous. Dan, thank you very much. We'll be talking to you again here in a bit.
Yes, you will.
It's so weird to have Heidi back. Heidi, thank you.
You're very welcome.
You even say anything somewhat offensive this time,
Wow.
which is
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, she just got back in the
Just got back. You gotta let me
Say
ease
something
into this.
nice, John. You're married to her. For instance, you smell really nice for a girl.
You too. Well, now what do I have left? You took it all. You took all the good stuff, Dan.
That's how I roll, John.
All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.
Do you use a credit card? Is it a good one? Do you get points and perks? Are they for things that you actually use? We have a site that compares credit cards from a bunch of different banks and from a bunch of different credit card companies to help you find the very best credit card for you. It's absolutely free to see if there's a better credit card for you at bettercreditcards.net. With many of the credit cards, you can even roll over a balance if you find a better deal. Check it out now at bettercreditcards.net.
Sunny 93.3, time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I like to poke bears and lasso ducks and kill them possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the critters and the campers too, but if you're wearing Crocs, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Hey,
Ranger Dan.
morning, you old rascals, you little criminals, what you are. Hey, little radio rangers, gather around the radio. We're going to drop some critter knowledge on you this morning, and we're delving back into the world of insects, and here's why. This happens to be, as if this should be a thing, but it is. It's World Mosquito Day.
Is this a day to celebrate the mosquito or to try to eradicate the
It's
mosquito?
more informational because a lot of things have gone on over the decades. Remember DDT, which pretty much eradicated malaria worldwide until there was a ban put on it when they started figuring out that there might be health issues at stake and everything else.
It's killing mosquitoes and everything else.
It is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry just for the campers, just trying to figure out the best thing to use on your skin and mosquitoes. And what do? You're camping, you're hiking, whatever. And so it's pretty simple. I've got some tips for you here, little radio rangers.
Awesome. I'm ready for it.
Next time you're out to those campsites, and there's certainly still time left to do that. Summer is waning a bit, I understand. But Here's what you do. You've got choices. You can smear yourself with that stuff Ma about you. You can spray stuff and it gets in your eyes and it tastes icky, blah, 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 blah. But here's a normal situation, especially in those family outings.
Yeah.
There's always one person. It's usually your twice divorced uncle on your mother's side. He's going to have 7 or 8 too many Pabst Blue Ribbons.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
All right, he's going to crawl into that tent and pretend he's sleeping. That ain't the case. He's passed out raw.
Right.
Mosquitoes are attracted to a couple of things.
Okay.
Moisture,
All right.
dark clothing,
Oh.
and concentrated light.
Oh, yeah.
So you put Uncle Schlanko in an ACTC D-shirt,
Yeah.
dump that last remaining PBR on him, stick a flashlight in his lap, turn it on. By
And
the
they'll
time
leave you
all is
alone.
said and done,
He's mosquito bait, and you are
free.
scot-free.
You can dance around that campfire naked rest of the night
Right.
without a
Because
problem.
the mosquitoes are busy.
You know, I would never
That's
give
actually
you
great advice.
Give you any advice. I haven't tried myself. I'm a ranger.
And this does work.
You can go on my website and get a free pamphlet on the subject. That's it. That's it for me. Hey, you little urchins, stay in school. Go to church, say your prayers, eat your vegetables. Don't play soccer. Don't let me catch you wearing Crocs. Ranger Dan out. Yes, sir.
Again,
Bye, Ranger Dan.
Ranger Dan's Critter Corner right here on Sunny 93.3.
How much do you pay for cable TV or satellite each month? Many people spend well over $100 every month for TV, but many smart consumers are cutting the cable and satellite with ChannelSurferTV.com. We have some amazing HD antennas that allow you to pick up a bunch of local TV networks for free. We also have a DVR that allows you to record the shows and watch them when you have time. Watch TV with no monthly fee with ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You're listening to Sunny 93.3. We've got Mr. Dan Farris with our water cooler talk, brought to you by Aqua One. You are laughing hysterically. It's good to have Heidi back. She makes you laugh. You make her laugh.
For no
You
apparent
both
reason.
make me nervous.
Oh boy.
Where are we going here?
Oh
What's up?
boy. I'm an investigative reporter. We
I've
really
noticed.
need to clear the air, and everything I say here is possibly true.
Some of it is
Possibly true.
factually accurate.
This story is so bizarre. I've actually been tracking it for the past 4 days from when it broke, talking about that kidnapping, beat down, torture thing.
Yeah.
that
Right.
Torched him in the face.
that went on. They've snagged a couple of these yahoos.
I don't understand what it was. A drug deal gone wrong.
It happened last week. Yeah, authorities now have arrested 2 of the 4 men wanted in the incident. See, just a day or so ago, we thought it was 3. Now it's 4. 56-year-old James Oliver Henna from Sioux Falls and 38-year-old Robert Allen Fitzler from Montrose. And you're from those parts. We refer to it as Monkey Town.
Monkey Town?
Yep, that's a fact. Both men wanted first-degree kidnapping and aggravated assault. Here's the skinny. They're still searching for 38-year-old. We have a name here. Because they have not apprehended him, I can only use his initials, Ronald Lee Webb. And 35-year-old Christopher Allen Yahola.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep,
Those are the ones that we're still looking for.
Christopher Allen Yahola.
And by the way, if you happen to be either of those 2 people, if you call in right now and turn yourself in, we'll give you a Sunny shirt or something.
That's it. We'll give you a sunny T-shirt and escort
what?
downtown.
Mugshot.
We do not want mug shirts
Oh,
in the
come on.
Sunny Show.
Listen to this, and Heidi, you've been in timeout, so maybe you're not aware of this, but according to court documents so far, back on August 9th, the 38-year-old victim went to Hannah's residence, South Sioux Street, to collect payment for work done on Hannah's house. Hannah told the victim he didn't have the do-re-mi right then, but hey, would you mind coming back the next day? He did. Returned on August 10th.
They locked the dude up in the basement.
Then
didn't
stated
they?
there were other folks inside the home, then accused him of a drug deal gone wrong and demanded $275 from him. So, also according to court documents, the victim reported that these guys
Gentlemen.
grabbed him, struck him several times in the face, used a knife to cut off his shirt and his belt. You know, there's really easier ways. There's a buckle and buttons, gentlemen. The victim also reported that the subjects then used a
Blowtorch.
blowtorch to kind of scorch up his face and stuff like that. Then forced him in the basement where they kept him for 2 days.
Yeah.
Didn't feed him, but yeah, another drug deal gone wrong. And I've mentioned this just once before because I'm an optimist. Glass is half full.
And you are an investigative reporter,
And I am.
darn fine one at that.
Just happen to know from statistics, while a drug deal gone bad here, there were literally thousands going on in town that went really, really well.
And we never hear about those.
Really, really well.
Why don't we ever hear about those?
Hi, pardon me, would you like to buy some drugs? Why, you know what? I think I would. How much are your drugs? Well, they're this much. Okay, well, I would like this much worth. Thank you very much.
Do you have a fuel saver card?
That would be fantastic. Or a rewards card. We do have a loyalty program. Thank you very much. Enjoy your drugs. I will. Have a nice night.
Glad this went well.
I would say that was a smooth transaction.
Yeah, this other one, not so much.
Not so
Locked
much.
in the house for a couple of days.
This is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. This story is it just smacks of stupidity everywhere.
Nothing about that is something that I would have thought would happen in Sioux Falls, by the way.
No, here's the thing. Nobody died, nobody whatever, but seriously,
Glad, thank goodness.
except for the victim, give all of them a life.
Yeah, I
Just give them a life.
But they just let this guy go. They're like,
well, one of them did.
One good guy.
see ya.
One good guy was like, yeah, I
Well,
think
somebody had a
thanks for
conscience.
stopping
it's
by.
time for him to go before we do kill him, and then we're all going to prison for life. And I think that's kind of where it was. It just is a weird story.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah. Coming up later in the program, going to be visiting with one of the wrestlers from tonight's WWE SmackDown Live event. That's coming up later in the program. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.
It's t-shirt weather. Be sure to show off your personality with an awesome, funny shirt from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. We have some of our own funny t-shirt designs, but we're excited to have thousands of funny designs from other amazingly talented designers too. At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Did you know you can even upload your own designs and make money with your twisted sense of humor? Why not? Check it out. FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Sunny 93.3, thank you so much for listening on a Tuesday. Super excited for this afternoon. There's an awesome event. The WWE SmackDown Live is in Sioux Falls this evening, and I've got Bayley joining me on the line right now. Bayley, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. So what's it like being a SmackDown Live superstar? That's got to be pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it is. We get to travel the world. I get to hang out with some of the coolest people in the world to work with, and I'm the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, so, I mean, life's good when you're a champion.
That is fantastic. Now, I'm reading in the info, long before you were a superstar, you were a super fan, and how long have you been a fan of wrestling and watching this on television yourself?
Man, it's been, like, since I was 10 years old. It was probably the first time I saw it, and became a huge fan throughout my teenage years until I was crazy enough to just try it myself when I turned 18.
And what was it that made you kind of decide that, hey, I don't want to be on this side of the TV. I want to climb into the ring and do that. That's got to be kind of scary. What made you want to do that?
You know, honestly, when I first saw it, I saw Macho Man was the first guy that I saw, and he was just something about him, like, shout out at the screen at me. And Trish and Lita started doing, you know, like, throughout the years, I was a huge Trish and Lita fan, and when they started their storyline, just like seeing the women be able to do it and how good they were and how respected they were and all that stuff. It was just, I was an athlete growing up and played sports, so that was something that really stood out to me. And I was like, you know what, I think I could do that. And the more I watched it, the more I realized that they were people just like me, and I wanted to just be a real-life superhero. And it was just, I don't know, it was something that I really couldn't ignore, and I had to see if I can be good at it, you know?
Well, I'm really glad that you didn't ignore that, because you've not only have you become a fan favorite, but you've also been kind of a trendsetter. One of the things that's kind of a signature, wearing that side ponytail, and there are a lot of young ladies all over the country that do that now.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like what I used to wear when I was a little kid. You know, that was cool back in the day. So that's kind of where it came from for me. I was just, when I first started doing all this, just thought of myself when I was 13 years old or 7 years old, and like how I would dress or act or whatever it was. So the fact that we're able to like bring that back now, and I don't have to curl my hair or wear hair extensions, is the best.
And is there anything about it, like when you were growing up watching it on television, and now that you're actually in the ring doing this, is it exactly what you thought it was going to be, or is it completely different than what you thought it was going to be, Bayley?
It's a little bit of both, but you know, I guess when you're just a kid or a fan, you don't really realize everything else that goes on in between, which is the traveling and all the places you get to go, but like in a good way, because I've seen places that I've never thought that I would ever go to. Like we were just talking about, I was wrestled in Alaska, and I'm about to go wrestle in Hawaii next month, in the Philippines, things like that. So I always just wanted to do the wrestling side of it, and the competitive side of it, but there's so much more that comes with it, and I'm so lucky to be able to live this dream.
That is fantastic. And now, if you hadn't had this chance, what do you think the other path in life for you would have been? Was there something else you wanted to be, like a teacher or something?
Actually, I wanted to be like a school counselor because, I don't know, I was taking psychology classes back at like college and stuff. I had to do like school counseling, like because my parents were divorced and I went through all this stuff. So I just thought that like really helped me in life, and that was something that I wanted to kind of give back to and learn more about. So I was kind of on that path if wrestling never worked out, but I'm really happy that it did.
Well, and I'm going to say I'm really happy that didn't work out either, because I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. And are you excited to do the WWE SmackDown Live in Sioux Falls tonight?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we're super excited. They have the King of the Ring tournament that just started back up. So, honestly, that's what I'm pretty excited about, because it's one of my old favorite pay-per-views. So we're bringing it back in Sioux Falls tonight on SmackDown. So I'm really, really excited for that.
That is fantastic. Now, some of the other folks that will be wrestling tonight, have you had a chance to work with quite a few of these people?
Yeah, I mean, everybody on the show, we're all pretty close. We travel the world together, so we're all kind of like family backstage. But I believe, Roman Reigns and The New Day and everybody, like, there's a lot of people that I've been working with for years that I love being on these shows with. So, yeah, it's a family feel.
Now, the thing that kind of takes me by surprise, visiting with you, you seem like such a sweet, nice, awesome person. And like in a few hours, you're going to be, throwing somebody around in a ring. Is it hard to go from being as awesome and nice as you are right now to being that person in the ring that's, the superstar?
Not really. When you have to like wrestle people like Alexa Bliss or Charlotte Flair, they could just kind of irritate you right off the bat. It's just a competitive spirit that I guess is all in all of us. So we just, it turns on when we walk out to that stage and those lights and the fans and all that stuff. It's pretty easy to just be in the moment.
Now, I don't have a whole lot more time with you here, so I'm going to try to use it as wisely as I can. Is there like a moment in your wrestling career that you look back and say, this right now has been my favorite moment?
Yeah, I have. I mean, there's a few of them right off the top of my head, but the one that sticks out, and I think the one that a lot of people remember and still come up to me about, was when I won the NXT Women's Championship in Brooklyn at NXT TakeOver. It was like the first one that we did outside of Full Sail in Orlando, and it was my first championship. And that was just such a memorable match for myself. I wrestled Sasha Banks, who is my best friend and my tag partner. So it's just that night, I don't know, it was so magical in Brooklyn, and people still to this day come up to me and talk about that match. So that was like 4 years ago, so that's something that I'm very proud of.
That is fantastic. Well, I wish you the very best tonight. Thank you so much for taking some time to visit with us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Hope to see you guys at SmackDown Live tonight.
Absolutely. Again, our guest right now has been Bayley, and she's going to be in the ring tonight. So if you get a chance, come out and join us at the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls tonight. It's a great event. I think they still have a couple of tickets left, and we actually gave tickets away, and the people who won our tickets, you're going to pick those up tonight at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. We're going to be parked out front with the Sunny Hummer. Now, here's the thing. The event starts at 6:30, so you got to be there and get your tickets ahead of time. And if somebody doesn't show up, if I have extra tickets, I'll give those last few away right before I go inside as well. So swing out and join us. Also, like I said, I believe you can still get tickets tonight as well. It's all happening at the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls. All of the details at facebook.com/sunnyradio.
Do you use a credit card? Is it a good one? Do you get points and perks? Are they for things that you actually use? We have a site that compares credit cards from a bunch of different banks and from a bunch of different credit card companies to help you find the very best credit card for you. It's absolutely free to see if there's a better credit card for you at bettercreditcards.net. With many of the credit cards, you can even roll over a balance if you find a better deal. Check it out now at bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You're listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
So exciting. Celebrities on.
Fabulous.
when Heidi's helping, it's even more fabulous.
It is. She can snap both hands.
You know, fame normally doesn't happen overnight. People got to work for it. They got to chase. They got to want it bad. It's like, I'll kill for that hemorrhoid cream commercial. I'll do anything you want. I'll swallow my last ounce of dignity just to get on TV. But such is not the case today. It's a brand new celebrity, and she hails from the great state of, wait for it, South Dakota.
Are you kidding?
Splattered over national news all weekend long, and now on the digital version of People magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Miss Danette Glitz.
Okay.
Danette Glitz.
I missed out on what this is. What
Headline,
happened?
this South Dakota mom didn't know she was pregnant.
Oh, yeah, I did see this.
Gave birth to triplets just days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Danette went to see a doctor thinking she was experiencing some kidney stones, only to leave with 3 little blessings from God.
How cool is that?
Quote, started getting pains, figured it was kidney stones because I've had them before. This is what she told to ABC affiliate Kota.
Yeah.
Rushed to the hospital August 10th because of the pain, not realizing that she was actually 34 weeks pregnant.
Holy cow.
Once in the hospital, doctors told her that, hey, sweetie, you're going into labor. They expected to see twins, and then the third one popped out, and everybody went, whoa!
Hello!
Hey, whoa!
Don't forget me.
Whoa! And really, you don't ever see triplets being conceived naturally, let alone going 34 weeks without knowing. So everyone's like, hey, Danette, I can't believe it. We're still in shock. Trust me, Glitz explained. I go to the doctors thinking I'll have surgery for kidney stones and end up going into labor with a C-section that night. It's pretty crazy.
That is.
So, yeah, she's in the national spotlight, and I'm guessing book deal, movie, billboards, probably got her own website.
I just don't understand how that's possible.
Her husband, Austin, they've been married 12 years, with whom she already shares a son and a daughter.
She's been down this road before.
Oh, yeah. She's got a couple of kids. And according to Danette, her husband, quote, his reaction is like, excuse me, can you put those back?
Wow. Sweet.
Oh.
No, that's not what he said. Well, it could have been. Anyway, he's been drunk for 72 hours, so who knows? So it's just crazy, isn't it?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's, having had children, I don't know how that's possible.
But this is normally how South Dakota makes the national news. It's
Right,
generally
it's
a story
never right.
where the rest of the world is going, what?
Wait a minute. What happened
They
here?
did what now? Which I love. I think that's fantastic. What are they doing? What did they do? We need to go visit that mountain with the Beatles carved on it. Let's go. Tourist dollars. That's what it's all about, baby.
Oh, my.
The Beatles carved on it.
I love that mountain. It's great.
All right. Well, Dan, thanks for the entertainment news update.
You betcha.
I smell an award on this one.
Whoa.
I got a feeling.
Like I say, I've been at this almost 40 years. Trophy case still gathering dust.
We're going to submit this one. This report, Dan, might have been your finest work ever.
I am the Minnesota Vikings of investigative reporters.
I got nowhere to go with that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour on Sunny 93.3.